Hey, good afternoon, Bob Trade Genius, the 6th of September. Actually, first thing I'll talk about, and I think I'll put some charts up tomorrow on the crypto world. China gave us a gift. They, the media gets it wrong, is that they banned new ICOs. Everybody just assumed they banned cryptocurrencies, and you just saw this across the board just plunge in pricing. And so the week prior, we saw Bitcoin and Litecoin and Ethereum hit resistance areas where it's a good place for you to lighten up. And we did. And then as soon as that news came out on China, we bought back in today. The Litecoin, where I'm heaviest, was up at 1.15%. I went ahead and I lightened up again. And I think I'll show you guys a little bit about, kind of what we do, and, in terms of just building wealth in this space. We really don't care. We think it's going to drive higher for sure, just because of the nature of what's happening. But we're not getting too caught up in the bubble non-bubble talk, because they people don't fundamentally understand this. And if you want to become part of what we're doing, we're making quite a bit of money, for at least on the subscriber side, on the cryptos, in terms of just getting people into the right coins, and showing them how to move in and out of coins and cross coins, actually, too, called ratio trading. And we're still running the special, so you can still get training courses, 7 of them, at half the retail price, and you get a year in the trading room. And last week a couple guys made 50% on some of their first trades, just because of the things that we were talking about and doing in the room. So check it out, TradeGeniusAcademy.com. I think you'll love it. It's probably the most purely technical trading that's happening right now, because the way in which the bankers and the elites typically manipulate the currencies, and gold and silver in the markets. They can't do this quite so easily with crypto. So what they have to do is they have to use news to drive prices down, so that they can keep accumulating. And so that's what we watch out for. But we see it in the charts. So let us help you make money, and come trade with us. Now let's flip on to the stock for a second. Here is Apple. Has some fatigue here. It's they're going to announce on the 12th, I guess, some big new sales for the fall, probably the iPhone 8. But it definitely has some fatigue in it. It's twice now it's hit VWAP. Really couldn't do much today. And this rolls over while this is under 60. I think we have a chance for us to come down. So just as Apple goes, the market will go. Google looks the same way, although it looks a little bit more constructive than Apple. But I think their business model, we're going into recession, and advertising brokers don't do well in recessions. Microsoft, which I thought would do the best of them all, is also getting some fatigue here. Looks a lot like Apple, except that it already turned down on its faster Stokes. So I'd be looking for this to probe down into this area here, 72, 73 area next. Facebook, nice bounce up into resistance area here, but nothing here to short. But the comps for next quarter on Facebook are pretty brutal, so I'm sure they're going to disappoint. Amazon looks a little bit like Apple. In fact, the chart looks identical in terms of the last 2 weeks. So I like to see the fast Stokes fail before the slow Stokes can push up or get below 60. It'd be great, and have Amazon keep falling. Now they're the biggest grocery market's 3% margin. The only way you're going to squeeze anything more out of that is you're going to have to kill rents or kill employee pay. You're not going to get much more out of the on the producing side, because food prices are already in the floor. So they're going to have to get it out of the middlemen, see if they want to share or not. SPY up until the last hour or two looks like they want to bounce it. The only thing I'm looking for here is a failure here at a lower high. Has to break here though. So just keep an eye on it. But probably tomorrow I'll sell a call spread against it for next Friday. Nvidia just been dancing around the VWAP. It's not done anything. This is supposed to be a high growth stock, so, but it's done nothing for like 3 months. Netflix, this is going to be a great short. So, is a company that's losing money on every transaction, and their cost of business is rising. So it's now pretty overbought, and it's way over VWAP. And probably I would, if be shorting this, would be around this area right here. Probably a 10-point move back down to 170. Tesla broke below VWAP here today. It didn't come up with the move up in NASDAQ. Like I said, I think this thing is just dead meat. So if you like to short this stuff or buy puts, this would be a good place to do it. Okay, Q's up against resistance again. But, you know, they've just been leveraging this thing. I need to see this fail below this price. And we need to get it below VWAP. So gold got some news today. I was telling you yesterday, I think it's getting a little overbought. I'd like for it to come back down to this area here, 125, 126, and get another move higher, and start to move here. But I think they'll probably rate it tonight. You know, Tuesday nights are normal rating night, short week, so we'll see if the rating party comes in tonight. But I wouldn't fear it at all. In fact, if you get a dollar move here, $10, $15 move in gold, that could be good enough for a refreshment here on at VWAP. So this was kind of interesting, not following the cues. This is biotech and banks. Looks like it's ready to roll over. May have to sell call spread on that one too. So looks very interesting to me that way. There you go. If you're short banks, every one of these peaks that fail, buy puts. Okay, I think the miners and the metals are all going to pretty much look the same. We got knocked out of XLE yesterday on a stop. That's the way it goes. And then I did chase this gap up because I didn't know if it was going to be a gap and crap. So gapped it, and here we are. But now we're way overbought on XLE. And I'm expecting this consolidator come back down. Like I said, the miners are all going to look pretty similar here, as well as the metals. Okay, WPM. Yesterday I sold some calls against it right at the money. Today I sold in the money before this happened, and then I also bought nugget puts. So I'm not going to fully hedge myself. I'm going to use nugget puts to be my hedge. It worked out horribly for me last time because it didn't really move. But I think we're a little bit more stretched now, and I think I'll get some profit on the nugget trade. I shouldn't say horribly. I lost like $300. So, but it didn't go the way I wanted it to go. That whole hedge last week kind of blew up in me. There's GDX. I'm looking for it to come back down to 24 area. Okay. This needs to start trending higher for me to be interested. Silver looks like gold. Okay. I look for this to touch VWAP and bounce. I think the uranium stocks might be ready to make a move again. I like for this to come down too, and then look for an opportunity to go ahead and get long. I may have to wait till December or January though at this point. This is way overbought. I think it needs to come down to here, and that would be a good place to buy in or buy back in if you're already in it. It's getting a little overbought here, following XLE apparently. I think biotech is probably pushed pretty hard here, and again I'm looking for this thing to these things tend to not just slide. They'll push down and come back up, but not quite yet. Here's Nugget. When I said when to break the trend dots, I'm going to go ahead and put the trade on. I did, and now we'll see if I get more than a day off the move. If not, I'll be duly impressed with what's happening with the metals and miners. But I think we'll come back down. VXX looks like it wants to move higher. Okay, for those who are in FAS or FAS puts, I think you guys are going to continue to get rewarded. And I think FAS is ready to fall again. AG, I'm going to get back into it again just for people that kind of been following this trade with me, as I've been doing these all year long. It's been a very profitable trade. I'll probably add back in, you know, around 7. I'm going to redraw my fib lines here, and I'll do it right now while I have everybody here. So I'll be looking to buy here 708 and buy here 676. And so add back, says I don't think the move's over yet. As long as this long stoke is above 60, I'll take both those trades and then set stops. UVXY looks like it may pop again, and then totally missed this trade. I talked about it yesterday. Just wasn't mentally ready to go short UVXY on the first day of the week, and I thought it would give me a little more time for the end of the day to jump on the trade for a turnaround Tuesday, but it did not. And then it gapped down the open and then did nothing from there. So I'm looking for this to move back higher. Dollar is flat today. I think oil is probably will push up. Well, these ECO will probably push up to here. I think oil has probably another day or two in it. I think it'll roll back over again. I hear a lot of calls for 50s, and I hear a lot of calls for 60s too, but I just can't see it. Okay, DBA is getting his bid again, so who am I to argue? And I'm underwater on this thing about $1. XME consolidating. UNG, we jumped into trade. I moved the stop up to break even and it tagged it. That's okay. It just didn't follow through, and so I don't know if it's quite ready yet. But I had natural gas futures on and made nearly $1,000 on it from yesterday morning to this morning, so I'm not complaining at all. QQQ, FAZ. Here's oil. I think oil probably, if it gets up to here, or 525 to 530 area, I think it'd be a good area to short it. TWM looks like it's basing a little bit. FXY is back to VWAP. JJG's crawling back out. 26.25 is my break even, and plus I have long corn futures. This is the one I was following. That CCJ just didn't, other than that first morning move, just didn't do anything. So I kind of held off trying to jump on it. Copper still grinding away. Joe, we got stopped out. Look for another entry on this soon. UGA came down to the mid 28s and then it bought it back, but we're going to find out in about 10 minutes here if the build is starting or the draw is less, and then I think we'll get paid on UGA here before next Friday. So I'm talking about corn broke through that line now. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if it tests it. That's, you know, 1774 here on the ETF corn and then continue to move higher. You know, I'm looking for this thing to reclaim, you know, the 19s again. This is longer dated VIX, moving higher. This one's going, I think this is a China sanctions thing. And, you know, I wish I would have threw this on my list 2 weeks ago versus last week, and then watch it gap up the very next day before I was really ready to do anything with it. But I think the rare earths are gonna get some bidding, especially if the dollar does what we think it's gonna do in terms of weakening against metals and miners. There's this ILJ. At this point, you know, have a touch here or touch here, and I think it'd be good to go to buy. Okay, let's see here. Sugar's been bouncing off of VWAP, so I'll probably look to wait for that and see people catch the trade. And but sugar looks constructive. Wheat's grinding higher, putting a nice little rounded bottom in. Go wheat. Soybean had a nice move yesterday, consolidating that today. It's cold. Still can't get those semis to move. The short semis, that is. Here's my Rorschach chart. All I care about, I'm looking at 210, is the interest rate on a 10-year, 10-year at 2108. VIX at 1161. VVIX was down a little bit. And back to Apple. So it's kind of where we are. I'll talk more cryptos tomorrow. So I had a good trade shorting gasoline till this morning. Seems to be wanting to go down to the 165 area, trying to run back up to 169. Today, if it gets 6.884 at the report, it'd be a good place to short it for tomorrow. So anyway, Bob Trade Genius, leave comments in the comment area, but come check us out. Let us help you make money. And we've been having a pretty good run of it of late. Come join us. Thanks. Bye.